Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, we're going to be talking about, I think, probably the most useful champions that we have found in the Cursed City. And to do that, I'm joined by none other than YST. How are you doing, YST?
How's it going, Mr. Nubby? It's nice to be back over the holiday season and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. It's actually crazy because we usually do videos, right? Well, I'd
Mm.
say once every 2 weeks or so. I was looking back, it's been a whopping 6 weeks. Can you
Oh my
believe it?
God.
That's
Wow.
shocking, right?
Don't even know you anymore. You're a
Who
stranger.
are you, you imposter?
Yeah. But Cursed City has come out since the last time we did a
Yes.
video. I don't know. How have you been finding it overall? Like overall thoughts on it? Are you enjoying it? What do you feel?
I've really I'm a big advocate for the Doom Tower.
Yep.
And I would say seeing the Doom Tower bosses in a new light paired of our traditional bosses was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, like going through the floors and stuff and whipping out champions that we wouldn't usually use, right? Like especially for the amount of time that we've been playing.
Mm.
Like there's so
Mm.
much champions that just falling into the back line. And then when you have to use them now, you're like, ooh, wait a second, who's actually got this skill to take this down and stuff? So I think that's been pretty cool.
Yes.
Um, I guess like one hard thing I'd say I encountered was silver issues.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I'd say like trying to change all these champions around and put gear on them and stuff during artifact enhancement and fusion as well has been rough, man. I've been broke. I've not seen. There was one point in my silver, right? I looked at it and it said 637. I didn't even have 1,000 silver. I was
Oh my
broke.
God. Oh wow. That's shocking. I haven't been at that
Yeah.
point in a long time.
Yeah, I was like, yo, oh my god, I can't believe it. I had to go sell all my accessories and stuff, man, to get a floor done.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'd say it's been positive, better
Mhm.
than I expected, I'd say, in lots of aspects, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you know what? Do you want to kick us off with a champion pick then? Who do you want to pick as your first kind of sleeper
Um,
champion or most useful champion?
I will say, obviously, there is plenty of flaws we have to go through, right? So all
Yeah.
champions in their own essence are very powerful. But I'd say these ones that I've selected are ones that I felt like I couldn't do this piece of content at that present moment without
Hmm.
this champion. And I'm gonna go with the first one as Kaden from the Dark Elves.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Kaden kind of brings this revive ability, right? With two random allies and then also an increased defense and also
Mm.
a AoE decreased attack as well. And then when we
Yeah.
speak about, do you know the boss for the Eclipse Key in the Dead Rice, which is
Okay.
Bomber the Dreadhorn and the Ice Golem?
Yeah.
Loads of my champions had Evil Eye Mastery, so I was procking down those Dread Bombs. I was dying and all of that bad stuff. It was crazy. And I thought, instead of
Yeah.
investing in, changing a bunch of gems, changing a bunch of gear, I decided to bring Kaden into the mix. And all I did was no masteries, nothing like that. Built him in
Mhm.
high resistance to tank the bombs. And he was just bringing back my protectors or my damage dealers. And over time, I managed to do it by just putting him into the mix. So,
Nice.
yeah, I think
Nice.
overall, Kaden was. I could have probably done it without him, but he
Yeah.
just made the gearing process easier for my team, I'd say.
There you go. That's a great pick. Yeah. Gosh. This is a champion you don't see used too much, right? But he
I will
is.
say,
He is
even
good.
in some of the waves as well, I've seen Kaden popping up a few times. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a cool champion that I literally only maxed for the City of Sintranos. So
He's got a really unique model as well. Like he looks really cool. Yeah. It's good
yeah,
to see him
he's
crop up.
a great champion.
Okay, my pick then is I was kind of just looking through, especially like the boss floors, and by far my most used champion, I wouldn't have expected it, is Kreela. Kreela Witch Arm.
Ooh, okay.
I've used her constantly, like for so many bosses. This champion is great, right? So she's got a good AoE that brings increased attack for your team for 3 turns. So that's
Hmm.
great to get more damage in. Because I found that the bosses, they don't tend to hit, even the waves, none of the floors tend to do that much damage. So you can actually get away with being quite squishy and bringing in more
Yeah.
damage. And then she's got an ally attack as well on a short cooldown. So I found her to be super useful. I've used her for so many bosses. I guess just the magic and support affinities have been showing up a lot, or orcs, I don't know. But
She
yeah.
hits also surprisingly hard with that AoE as well, right? For some of
Yeah.
the waves. I forget which
Mhm.
one it was, but yeah, she does hit pretty hard as well, from what I remember. I was just getting flashbacks of the faction games when I was using the orcs. I was like, she hit
Oh,
pretty damn hard back then, so yeah.
yeah, no, she does great damage. She's been badass. So I've used her a shocking amount. Yeah, she's been great. So she's my first pick.
She's great for, I believe, was it the Fire Knight one with the ally attacks as well, right? In one of the floors. I forgot which one it was, but
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which floor, but I mean,
there's so many floors. I'm just trying to think, which one
there's
did
so
I
many
see her
there
in?
she is. She's in that
There, that's the one.
boss.
Yeah, Fire Knight.
She didn't make. She's in that boss. She's
look at
cropping
this.
up. Is she in this
popping up.
boss? No, she didn't make it in. Force affinity only. But yeah, she cropped up in a lot of bosses. Oh, I didn't make it that one. Nope, no works. But yeah, she turned up for a ton of bosses for me. What's your second pick?
My next one, actually, people might be surprised by these picks. It surprised me as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Hoskarul from the Barbarians.
Ooh.
It was actually a fusion epic.
Yeah. There he is.
I would say the gatekeeper to what's it called? The Soul Cross area is S8, right? And you cannot, carry on with the floors until you pass that.
Yeah.
And this was a champion where I did have top tier ones. I had Iron Bragos, I had Valkyries and some other champions I'm going to speak about. But Hoskarul came in and provided that AoE stun for me, and especially with those raids in the wave 1, I was getting frozen, my buff strips, I was getting nuked to the ground, and all I needed was a little bit of control. And I was like, I've got this champion maxed up already, just threw some perception onto him. He hasn't even got masteries or anything. But now, some kind of similar caliber to Kaden, it's like that control or that damage reduction can be very powerful, and that's what he brought to the table. And I didn't have like a wide range of champions to beat this floor, so a really cool one to invest in, I'd say.
Yeah, he's actually a great champion. He's a really good epic. So yeah, it's great to see him shine in that content. That's a good pick. I thought about I didn't need to use him this time, but he was definitely one I was like, oh yeah, he is.
You got who have you got in S8? You had Ragash and stuff though, right?
Yeah, for Gash. Yeah.
Yeah. See, for me, I didn't really have like something like that could just slice through the waves and stuff. So
yeah, I had Ragash with like a Brago.
Iron Brago is great. You just kind of have to roll the dice with the RNG to provoke the race, right? Because they're the magic affinity.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Okay, my next pick then. I'm gonna go for an obvious one. We've got to talk about this champion because they've been phenomenal, really, and it's Venomage, right?
Oh, let me just cross that one off my list.
There we go. Yeah, she has to be on the list, right?
Yeah.
For Amius, the Lunar Archon, right? Especially Amius and his pirates. Heal reduction is so strong, right? Heal reduction. She also brings the decreased attack as well, which I found very useful too, and the passive to help you stay alive. She's just a perfect champion for that boss. And then also she's been quite useful for a few of the floors, a few of the other bosses as well. Again, with the AoE poisons. And yeah, she's just a solid champion, but she's been clutch for that. I think I've seen people using her as well for the really tough Sand Devil boss in Soul Cross, that she's in there with like Python to help you get through that as well, potentially. So yeah, it's really been helpful for the hardest bosses. So yeah, Venomage. You had her on your list as well?
I had her on my list. Yeah, she's phenomenal, man. Crazy good. Like, it's just, if it's because you kind of see, I feel like Lizardman's popped up quite a lot in these floors as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like Lizardman and Ogrins, especially, I've seen quite a lot of. So, Venomage definitely been great this rotation.
All right. What's your next pick then? That's not Venomage.
Surprise, surprise. Sniktraak's back in town.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, he's Skinwalker, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
there he is. We know how I feel about Sniktraak. I've been banging on about this legendary for donkey's years, right? And I used him against Amius the Lunar Archon, phenomenal champion with that ally protection, the self-healing as well, like a Torogi the Frog, which is clutch. Decreased speeds, we've got an A1 decreased attack. He's just a phenomenal one to throw into the boss. I would say outside of that, also has strong utility for stuff like that S8, like we mentioned prior, great decreased speed and the shields. He was someone that I used to get my Eclipse key against Finite Hardened Eternal Dragon in Plague because he's got the reflect damage, right? We've reduced those shield counters.
So good.
Yeah, I feel like he just kind of popped up in a bunch of places, conquered some of the hardest bosses that we need to face, and even the waves as well. He's just a great champion overall, man.
Yeah, has to be. Yeah, really good.
What's great about him as well is it's like, if I traditionally build him for Hydra boss, right? But I can carry that exact same build into these content areas, and it's going to be the exact same I'd have for Hydra, so it just works out.
I tell you as well, I think when they add another difficulty of Cursed City, like I said, I feel like you've been able to get away with quite a lot in this form, where the damage incoming isn't too bad. But when it is going to be bad, like Sniktraak he's gonna even skyrocket even more. He's gonna be completely nuts because he gives you so much protection, protection. That's a great pick. I'm gonna pick a champion now I don't have, but I have seen at every floor that I found difficult. I'd be like, what do my clanmates use? I go, oh, they use Cardial. Okay.
Oh,
he shows up constantly.
This
guy. Oh my god. But yeah, he's so strong, right? The speed in all battles. basically keeps your team alive with the healing. Revive on death, again, that's been clutch for Sand Devil. That's just between the cleansing and the healing, like he's enough to keep you alive. Then he also brings in like probably the best ally attack in the game still, with the speed aura.
Do you have Cardial?
No, I don't have Cardial.
Oh, you don't? Oh, this is just someone that you felt would be a game changer, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, like literally on every floor that I was finding difficult, I would look at what are my clanmates using? Can I copy their teams? And it's Cardial. Like for all, especially because you've got all the Fire Knight bosses in here. And you want to be getting in the ally attacks, like Cardial. Cardial for any of the tough waves that Cardial can come in. Cardial carries the way. He just hard carries so many stages. So yeah, he's like one of the most impactful champs for sure. All right, what's your next pick then?
Next one's gonna be someone that I feel like has popped up quite a lot during a lot of the floors, and he carried it, and it's Sea Choke from the Ogrins.
Yo, yeah, that's a good one. I used him a lot too.
Yeah, I think what makes him so cool is one, he's placing an AoE decreased defense, right? That's what we like to see in wave-based stuff. But it's the self-amplification of increased attack without relying on other champions. You know, bringing that in, and he has some great damage multipliers. He brings in some fundamentals, decreased speed, and great damage from the A3 as well. I just think, like, he's not insane, but where I've used him, I'm like, yo, like, there was one floor. Let me try to find it. Was it S7? Now, there was one of these floors, S6 maybe. Oh, it's S6. So that's the
S6.
gatekeeping one to go into S7 or S23. And it was kind of like some tedious waves.
Yeah, I've used them as well.
It was like, this is so annoying. But then he came through and absolutely annihilated the wave, like one shot. So yeah, man, as long as you got some control for this one and you bring in a Sea Choke with some great damage, man, you won't be disappointed. I'll tell you that much.
I like it. Yeah, no, I use him a ton as well. Yeah, that's a really good call out.
I feel like those floors are like very important, right? Because it kind of stops your progression into Soul Cross. And for these champions to enable that 4 plays is great. So.
Yeah. By the way, do you think you're going to be... I don't think I'm going to be able to clear all of Soul Cross. I think I'm going to get
there's
stuck.
no chance. I'd say it comes down to that thing again. But I don't feel like the content is extremely hard. I think it comes down to roster limitation. Like, do you have the champions to bring them in? And also, do you have the resources to build the champions to bring them in? But I think that Harima one that you're on there is nuts, right?
There's like one person in the world that's beaten
Who did they use? Oh, double Morag.
Dude, okay. That's actually... That's ironic I showed it. She's actually my next pick. Segue into that. That's funny. Okay. But Morag's actually my next pick. I'm big on ally attack for this, and she's an epic. I think she's phenomenal. Again, she's shown up in a lot of floors. But not only does she have a really good AoE that is also helping you stay alive, and she's tanky, she also brings in an ally attack as well. And she can counter attack with her A1. I think it's with her passive, when she's got that strength and buff on. So I found her phenomenally useful against, just not only a lot of floors for bringing just a lot of damage, being tanky, really good against some of the Fire Knight bosses as well, because there's no other option for ally attack in those compositions, right? And she comes in with the ally attack and a counter attack. That's a double hitter. I found her to be super helpful. So Morag is a champion like I absolutely use. I actually need to upgrade her gear, honestly, to get her into really good gear. You can see double Morag. That's how that guy beat the one guy beat that floor. I think this champion has a ton of potential. Have you used her at all, actually?
I have, I think it was since the Clan Boss draft when Hades brought her in for that Clan Boss team. I was like, damn, like that's insane. So I did rank her up. I don't use her crazy amounts, but I found myself using her in some of these floors, for the dwarves.
Yeah, she is a beast. Okay, what's your next pick?
It's a tough one.
I think is this your last pick? I think I've done 4.
Technically, but I'm gonna. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna force Nubs into an honorable mention.
Okay. I did steal your Venomage, so it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I'd say someone that really stood out to me at some given moments. I'm not gonna say crazy amounts. Is Steelskull.
Okay, yeah, I like that pick as well.
I feel like even do you know what? Surprisingly, the only person in the world to beat that S19 used the Steelskull as well. I just seen on your screen.
There you go.
Which floor did you show again?
I think it was the S19. I think
so Steelskull is a part of that as well, and brings in a lot of fundamentals. What it comes down to is that single target full out cleanse and heal on the A2. I feel like that's so strong. And one floor that I really struggled with a little bit, I'd say, was P16, the double boss with the dragon and the Nether Spider.
Let me bring that up here. Yeah,
I
might have done that today, actually, earlier today. Let me see.
Yeah, it was a pretty tedious one without re-gearing a bunch of champions, right? And it's very lacking in terms of... it's lacking in terms of cleansers you could bring in unless you brute force. And,
Yeah.
you're taking all those spiderlings, you're taking the dragon poisons. You're like, oh my gosh, if only I can cleanse somebody here. And I feel like that's what Steelskull brings to the table, alongside an increased defense and an AoE heal as well. And also some poisons on the A1, which is great for the dragons. So, yeah, I feel like she's kind of popped up, I'd say, 3 to 4 flaws that I was like, Steelskull made this a lot easier than it needed to be, right? So,
Wait, you say she is
oh,
Steelskull female or
I
male?
forgot. Do you know what?
I mean,
did a
they've
collab.
got pierced nipples.
Listen.
Full out there, mate.
I
know.
Stuff. I hope to God that Ash doesn't watch this video. I swear, about a year ago, we did a collab, right? And I kept saying she. And he was like, bro, we can see the nips. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So now I know it's a he. I don't know. I keep saying she.
Fair enough. I like it. Okay. My last pick, again, a champion that I've used a surprising amount, has actually been Cruetraxa.
Oh, yes.
I've just used her a lot. Yeah, she's a great champion, but she's really Sean.
Sorry, bro, 1 second. Like, you can keep this in, but there is a fly attacking me. I think it's Amius has sent his minions, man. Where is it gone? It seems like we're good now. Back to Cruetraxa.
It's the extra difficulty of Cursed City right there.
Ultra Nightmare's attacking me right now. It turns into like real life.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually forgot how red she is. She's really red. That's cool.
Do you know what? Fun fact, right?
Yeah.
This was my first ever legendary champion in Raid back in 2019.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Do you know when you get your monthly shards from doing all the quests? The Sacred and the Void. The Void Shard was the Cruetraxa, and then the Sacred Shard was the Grohawk the Bloodied. So that was my 2 first Legos.
You had a lot of luck that month. Damn. Nice.
Yeah, a lot.
But yeah, she's great. I got her pretty early on as well. Like, not that quick, but in my first year of playing, I pulled her. I pulled like just all B tier damage Legos from Voids for the first year.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
And Gauze.
Yeah, but like she's got just an absolute cannon of an A1, the 4-hitter ignoring 50% defense, the extra turn, big single target nuke A2 as well, and then the attack aura in all battles has made her super useful. But again, for any of the Fire Knight stages that she's on, she can help rip through the shield, just massive single target damage as well for these bosses. And the attack aura is very flexible. So yeah, I've just found myself again using Cruetraxa a huge amount. She's very often I'm like, what team am I going to use? Oh yeah, Cruetraxa. She should go into this team.
It's great because she's got that revive on death as well, right? Like when you kill an enemy. So, sometimes when some of those hard hitting waves and she takes a bit of a hit sometimes being squishy, she just bring herself back up again because she's killing everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I like Cruetraxa a lot. Have you used her much yourself, seeing as you have her?
Yes, I'm a huge fan. I would say like outside of the Cursed City, there was a long period where I didn't. But there was a time where she was my main nuker in live arena for a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen
I had
her
a bit of an
there too.
off-topic pick. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Some of those.
Yeah, nice. All right, you got honorable mentions. Let's get 1 or 2 in. Go. I've got a couple as well. If we need.
I'd say number 1 would be Taragi the Frog. These allied protectors of self-healing, like him and Sniktraak, very similar things, but there was a flaw right with the Scarab King. I think it was P12.
Yeah, I did that today. It was tough.
Yeah, it's like, because obviously Taragi the Frog, for anyone that's not aware, can solo the Scarab King because he's got like a poison reflections with the passive.
Yeah.
Build him in high resistance so he doesn't get crowd controlled, so he can heal himself back up, and a good 5 to 7 minutes you'll be able to take it down once you clear out the spider. So yeah, Taragi's great. I've used him in a bunch of floors. He's got AoE provokes as well, and a decreased attack A1. And I also used him in the Dead Rise to get my key against the Bommel stage because I was just protecting my team alongside the Creed and the Blue and stuff, and played a great role. So.
All right, nice, cool.
So yeah, that would be the first one, I guess. The second one would just be a Missionarchy. Shadowkin.
Yeah, I've used him a lot as well. Yeah,
I felt like there's been a lot of Shadowkin flaws, right? And he comes in and just slaughters them. Like that Hex, decreased defense, decreased attack. He's got burns as well for bosses, which was great for the ice. Once again, that D15 stage with the Ice Golem Hearts. A1 burns keeps him down. Yeah. So yeah, man, brings in a lot of fundamentals and a universal aura, like you mentioned with the Cruetraxa for the defense up. So yeah, man. Great champion. Yeah,
he's a good pick. Okay, my 2 honorable mentions. I definitely want to give a shout out to your Karal the Scourge, which is someone everyone can get. I found him quite useful. He hasn't shown up in a ton of floors, so he didn't make my main list. But on the floors that he's been in, he's been super good, right? Because he does good damage, but the AoE with freeze, that's super useful, right? To lock out the waves and stop them doing their stuff. And then fully stealing the turn meter helps him get back. Yeah, I found him to be just strong in general. For the few waves he's in, he's been absolutely clutch. Obviously, any of the Fire Knight hard stages that come in, he's going to absolutely carry that as well whenever that rotation lines up. So I think he's definitely one that's super, super worth building now. If he wasn't already for Fire Knight Heart, he definitely is for Cursed City. So I'm loving him. And then the other one is very this was just like my backup pick. It's really not a surprise. I will pick Rotus though.
Oh, all right, guys, I'll see you later, man.
He's like he's just really good for so many of the stages. He just, any stage that Rotus can be picked on, the dude hard carries it. Like, he's insane. He's so strong. So I'll put him in. I'll put him on the list. There we go.
The Ghost of Christmas Past in Rotos the Lost Group.
Yep. Yeah. He's such a disgusting champion. I love him. Now I have him, but I also hate him.
Yep. I just hate him.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand. Yeah. But hey, look, there we go. They are our top 10 plus a few bonus picks for some of the most useful champions we have found for the Cursed City. Let us know in the description down below if you have any sleeper picks yourselves that we have left out here. Like, let us know. It'd be really helpful probably for a lot of people. And yeah, I'd be curious too what picks people are using all the time. I'm sure there's been loads that have been absolutely amazing that we haven't needed or we don't have ourselves or haven't thought of. Yeah, be very curious because there's a lot of room for experimentation in this content, I think, which is cool.
100%.
Yeah, there we go, guys. Thank you for watching. YST, thank you for joining. Do you want to say anything before we head on over to your channel for our second collab?
I just want to wish you, your family, and also your amazing viewers a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. And also a Happy New Year's as well if I don't see you by then. And yeah, I look forward to all of the collabs in 2024. Let's go.
Let's
We're gonna hit 500 collabs next year in 300 and something days.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.